I have 260 days left in this year to get done what I said I was going to do at the beginning of the year. And I've already used up 100 days. Actually, I kind of planned this video out a couple of days ago, so I'm down 2 days. But I'm going to do it. A few days ago, I was doing some research and I came across some young ladies, like in their 20s and maybe early 30s. And they're talking about really making major changes in their lives, like all at once. Within a certain amount of time, they gave themselves 6 months to a year. And I was thinking, they're in their 20s and their 30s, and these kids have it more together than I do. I have been working on these things forever. I've made a ton of progress, most of it in the emotional and the mental health department, which is good and it's amazing. And I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm grateful for the progress I've made since the beginning of the year. But truthfully, the other things in my life are not changing. I still am a financial mess. My online businesses are still not making money. I am still overweight and have not managed to. I have lost a little bit of weight. I've lost about 15 pounds since the beginning of the year, which is amazing. And I'm not saying it's not, it is amazing. But for someone my weight and the fact that I'm not really progressing, I just lost that weight kind of, in the beginning, and it's not going anywhere now. I have some major changes to do with that. There's just a whole bunch of things in my life that are still way out of whack, and I have not been trying hard enough. I just have to be honest. I have been trying, but maybe not hard enough. And that's why I'm locking in and I'm committing to making some major changes. I'm getting it done. I saw these young ladies went through each aspect of their lives and talked about what they were working on, and then they reported their progress. And although I've been talking about a lot of these things in my videos, I've actually given tips, things that I've learned, how I've grown. I haven't actually been specific as to the things, the different parts of my life and the things that need to be changed, the things that need to be, leveled up. So I'm going to break those down now. I'm making a commitment. These things are what I'm working on by the end of 2025. The first one is physical. Of course, it's physical. And I'll tell you why. Because everything in my life right now kind of depends on me getting my physical health together. I know that might sound a little bit weird. Well, it's not weird. I mean, like, if we're not healthy, if we don't feel well, it's hard to do all the other things in life, right? So we have to take care of ourselves. And because I am so overweight, and because I have been so overweight my whole life, this is something that I've worked on forever, and I've done a lot of the mental work. Now I'm ready to do the physical work. Why does everything kind of hinge on my weight? Well, when I lose weight, I will be able to move more, enjoy my life more, go and do the things more. It's going to hit all of these areas that I'm about to talk about. What am I talking about when I say weight and losing weight? I mean, I need to lose 70 pounds at least. Well, I have like way more than that to lose, maybe double that to lose, but I need to lose 70 pounds at least in order to get the knee surgery that I need. They want to do a complete knee replacement on me and they won't do that. They say it's because of insurance, that the insurance won't pay for it until I am under a certain BMI. And, I'm a ways away from that. So 70 pounds by the end of this year. I'm hoping to push it and make it happen a little bit faster than that. With the physical, I don't just want the knee surgery. I want to be able to do things. Right now, a lot of my activities are completely limited because of my knee and because of my weight. So, what do I really want to do? I want to be able to play tennis. So, if I can get that surgery a little bit earlier than by the end of the year, I can heal from that surgery, then I can get out there and start playing tennis with my kids and enjoying some of the outdoor activities that are really limited for me right now because it's hard on my knees. I'm going to start this physical goal by working on reducing the amount of time that it takes me to walk. It takes me a lot longer to walk right now because I guess it's a limp. I have to keep one leg straight. So whatever that's called, I have to do it. So when I walk, I kind of have to shuffle to keep the one leg straight instead of normally bending both knees like they're supposed to. It takes me longer to walk. It's actually hard on my hips. It's hard on my knees. The whole thing is just a mess. I would like to work on increasing the amount of time that I'm walking but reducing how long it takes me to go certain distances. The next one is emotional. In the emotional category, I've already been doing a ton of work on that. I talk about that a lot in my other videos. I've done a lot of healing with things from the past. I've done a lot of trauma work. I have done a lot of mindset work, and that is going wonderfully. Something that I have noticed in the last few weeks is that I am still struggling with a lot of agitation pretty much every day. And so I need to get a grip on that agitation. I am kind of experimenting with some supplements that I'm taking, and I may need a medication change in order to get that irritation, that agitation, whatever you want to call it, grumpiness, under control. And so that's the first thing that I need to work on with my emotional well being. The second part of my emotional well being is I want to really get good at staying present, like dealing with the here and now, not worrying about the past, not freaking out about the future. As I clear up some of the other goals and I work on those other goals, that is going to get better. Also, not always worrying so much about the future because right now it's kind of intense. But when I focus on gratitude and I focus on the here and now, and I do not focus on tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. Of course, I have goals. Of course, I have things I'm looking forward to, but I mean like freaking out about the future. That's what I want to get under control in my emotional side. Okay, the next one is spiritual. I talk about spiritual a lot also in my videos. I don't know about that I pray and that I have a relationship with my Father in heaven, but there are certain parts of that spiritual that I'm not great at. And that part is me getting outside of myself. So most of the effort that I've made in developing my spiritual side has been on focused on me, right? I have been trying to heal. I have been trying to feel better. And in doing so, I've really worked on building my relationship with Father in Heaven. I've done a lot of praying and a lot of different ways to make that connection stronger. Now, what I want to accomplish by the end of the year is getting good at service. It's not something I've actually really ever been good at, serving other people. I do serve, and I have served through my church and things like that, but I mean as like a daily part of who I am, where I see opportunities when somebody has a need that I automatically think about what can I do to help with that need. So where I want to be by the end of the year is that I want to be in the position where I am able to pray in the morning who is someone that I can help with, and be inspired with what I can do and how I can help and how I can serve and be more connected with people. So spiritually, that is what I want to work on right now, is getting outside of myself, connecting with other people by serving other people, and serving my Father in heaven in that way. The next area of life is social. This has become kind of a sore spot for me. It's kind of a nightmare because I am not going to a 9 to 5 anymore. I'm working from home. So my social aspect is my kids, my teenagers, right? And, I can't get everything I need from my teenagers. I cannot talk about certain things with my teenagers. I cannot rely on them for certain social needs that I have, nor should I. Nor should I. It just isn't the way. And so I need to get outside of myself more. I need to connect with people more. So this year I'm going to work on rebuilding some of my friendships. So I'm going to work harder at those relationships by making sure that I'm going out with friends at least a couple of times a month. Also, this year, I would like to find and make a new friend and build a new relationship. The other thing socially that I want to do, so for the 2 times a month that I'm not going out with friends, maybe the lunch or something to talk to each other and connect. The other 2 times I want to go and do something fun. I don't usually, I am not invested in fun anymore. I have left that part of my personality. Once upon a time, I could have called myself kind of yellow, that there was a big part of my personality that was really yellow, right? Like fun loving and funny and enjoying life. And that, I feel like it's gone. I just feel like life, having kids and being a mom and all the responsibilities, especially being a single mom, that's almost kind of been beat out of me. I'm too serious all the time. And especially with my physical situation, I just don't go out as much. I don't have fun. Well, and financial too. Like financial's not there. So I don't have the money to go and do things. So all of these things are working together, and I need to get out and I need to go and do more fun things. It's beautiful weather now, so I can go where it's beautiful and it doesn't have to cost money. The next one is intellectual. And I'm kind of like an intellectual, analytical kind of a person anyway. But right now I have a specific goal where I eventually would like to be some kind of mindset coach. It's what I love, it's what I really enjoy. And so I would like to develop those skills. I would like to learn more about that. So this year, I want to read at least one book a month that is developing that side of me, that is helping me to learn more about personal development, more about mindset, more about improving life and becoming a better me. That will eventually take me into being a mindset coach or some kind of coach like that. So, one book a month, at least, talking that specifically deals with personal development and self improvement. Okay, the next area of my life that really needs some improvement is my appearance. I like my hair. I like my haircut. I'm okay with that. I like my glasses. I'm okay with that. My physical appearance, of course, the weight is part of it. But what I'm talking about is my clothes. Like my clothes need a lot of help. Like this is a cute shirt and I'm okay with this. I mean, like there's just I just don't have a style anymore. What I really have is like whatever I can find that's a decent price that fits me. And that's no kind of style. So I really want to get back to finding my style again. And as I lose weight, that's going to be a lot easier because I'm going to fit into more. And, because bigger clothes actually usually cost a lot more. And there's a reason for that. It takes more material. I understand that. But it is expensive. It's more expensive to be bigger and especially to be fashionable. It's just not. So as I lose weight, that's going to be a little bit easier. The last area is a big, big, big one is financial. I have been working on this. I have been working on starting an online business, and it just feels like the progress is so slow. I keep stopping myself. I keep getting in my head. I keep doubting myself. I'm over that. I'm moving forward. By the end of this year, I want to make at least $125,000. And that may seem like a big goal, but considering the kinds of things that I'm investing in and what I'm trying to do, that should be totally doable if I can lock in and make it happen. So $125,000 profit, and that's without taxes because taxes are going to take a huge part of that, right? I want to be able to afford a vacation. I have not been able to take my kids on a vacation in, I don't know, 3 years. It's been forever. And I want to get out of town. And so the beginning part of this is to keep myself from going back to a 9 to 5. I do not want to go back to a 9 to 5. 9 to 5 does not fulfill me. I really want to be home with my kids when they get home from school. I want the flexibility to be able to take my youngest around. The other two are driving, so that's not a problem. But I want the flexibility to be like, if they have a school project or they need me to be at school or whatever they need from me, appointments, whatever, I want to be there. I want to have flexibility in my schedule. I only have 2 to 4 years left with having them at home with me. And I want to cherish that time. I want to use that time. I want to spend that time with them as much as I can. And a 9 to 5 on top of the commute that it will take with a 9 to 5 just sucks away my life, so much of it. It's not fulfilling. It's not what I want to do. I want to build my business and I'm going to make that happen. So I've got to keep myself from having to go back to work by digging in a little harder. So those are all the things that I am committing to get done by the end of this year so that on January 1st, 2026, I can show you that I have checked off a whole bunch of these boxes, that I'm living a completely different life, that I am walking and moving and feeling better and experiencing life like I have not been able to do in the last couple of years, especially with all the health stuff that's been going on, because I have limited myself. I have just made my world so small with my mindset, and I'm breaking free from that. I'm so grateful for those young women who were bold enough to put it out there that they needed to change their lives, for setting an example of breaking down each area of my life that needs improvement, being very specific and giving myself a time period to make that happen. I'm grateful that it's spring and that it's beautiful weather. And this is encouraging to me. It's a wonderful time for me to get on the ball, to tighten down a little bit harder, and to make these things happen. I hope that this video has been inspirational or valuable or something wonderful to you that you can take into your own life. Please leave a like, please leave a comment. Tell me about what you're working on. Tell me what are the things that you'd like to accomplish this year, even though we're 4.5 months into the year already. What are some things that we can buckle down and we can get done and make our lives better for starting 2026. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can stay connected with me. I will be reporting on my progress, as well as talking about lots of things to do with life and making life better. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon.